she telling my dreams. They said make sure you have a backup plan ready. Since then, I just been working hard trying to prove them wrong. Determination. But it's time to show them what you got. See, you take them dreams and you run with it. You never look back. See, this for the family, this for Tacoma, this for the ones we inspire. Downtown, looking down on my city, I see passion, I see hunger, I see the dome, like one day I'm gonna fill that up. For now, it's the takeover, it's the beginning.
Man, everything I ever wanted to do in life, everything I wanted to become, every dream that I've ever had for myself started on this field.
Alleywack Productions.
This is where I grew up. This is the hilltop. I learned so much here. To come from this place and have a dream and be successful is proof that you've overcome some obstacles and some trials.
What's dangerous is Tacoma's hilltop neighborhood.
A weekend shootout between alleged gang members and Army Rangers is under investigation today. The brawl happened in Tacoma's hilltop neighborhood.
You know, the strongest survive, really. And in order to make it from this place, you have to realize your greatness and realize that you're not a product of your environment, but your environment is the reason why you'll be successful, because you know how to go through some things and keep pushing. This was the house I was born in right here upstairs. It's a duplex. I lived in this house for a couple years. And so every time I share my story and I talk about the time where I came home and I found my mother dead, this is the house right here. I came home from elementary school, you know, Bryant Elementary, and I remember walking up the stairs in this house and seeing my mother on the floor. And that's probably one of the most difficult things I've faced in my life. I remember my grandmother dropped me off. And it was so quiet in the house. And I remember walking up the stairs and seeing my mother on the floor. You know, she was sick for a few days from the drugs that she was using. And she was on the floor, her eyes were still open. And I remember shaking her lifeless body, telling her to get up, and I started crying. You know, I was 7, started crying. She wouldn't get up. And I remember running to my grandmother's house, running down the stairs. And when I got to my grandmother's house right up the street, I called 911 because we didn't have a phone. And I remember I was crying and he grabbed me, held me, he said, "What's wrong?" And I said, "I think Mom is dead." And that day, my life changed forever. I believe there's nothing else in this life that I would face that was as difficult as that day. That day I realized, regardless of the things I go through, regardless of the turmoil that I may face after that day, I truly believe nothing can stop me. Nothing can stop who God created me to be. Overcoming that and being able to talk about it, you know, the obstacles and the actual moment of finding, you know, my mother dead, I'm able to share that with young people and tell them that regardless of what you face in this life, you can get through it. A lot of you guys said you want to go to college and you want to play sports. And right now you're not in college and you're not playing sports at a college level. So once you change your mind, actually decide in your mind that's what you want to do, you'll change your circumstance, you'll get there. When I was 12 years old, I started playing sports. And I'll never forget my first year, you know, because I won my first championship that year. I remember my first practice. Went to the coaches and said, "Coach, I want to play running back." He said, "We want to put you on the O-line." I was like, "But coach, I'm a running back." He said, "Well, you go ahead and race these other kids and we'll see." I said, "All right," because I knew I was fast. I was a big kid, but I was fast. So I raced all the other kids and I beat them. In that first year, right, I led the team in touchdowns, rushing, and pain is temporary, and strength is forever. If you tell yourself every day that you're a championship, just like the lion, he knows he wakes up, he's a champion. It doesn't matter what obstacles, it doesn't matter if his dream seems to be faster than him, he's gonna capture that dream. He's gonna achieve it. You know why? Because he believes in himself, he believes in his team, he believes in his pack, he believes in his championship. You know, because I was born right up the street, Hilltop, born as a crack baby. 8th Street on the Hilltop. Man, back in the day, you would see a lot of gang members out here selling drugs. You know, every day there was a fight. I remember when I was young, it's crazy that this house is boarded up right here, because I remember seeing this house get raided. It was a drug house. Got in a fight in that alley back there. Got stabbed with a pole when I was like 9. Pretty crazy. Man, I grew up in my grandmother's house. She raised so many different people. I lived there for about 4 years, 4 or 5 years. I learned so much, and who would have thought? We all came up through this elementary school, Bryant Elementary. I remember when I was a kid, I was in speech classes and couldn't read. This is the foundation right here. That's where everything started for me. I used to go to that tutoring service, you know, sometimes right after school, because I just wanted to be great at something. We used to sit in my grandmother's house with my brother and I in his room, and we would sit for hours and read Dr. Seuss books. So after school, you know, I would go to my classes, and then I would go to that tutoring service. I forget the lady's name that used to help me, but I'm so grateful for her. We would sit down and she would help me with my homework, and she helped increase my knowledge and increase my wisdom and help me really become who I am today. Times I've cried, you know, because I didn't know how to read, and she would help. So I'm thankful for her, and thankful for people like that, you know, like my brother and people like her who invested and sacrificed their time to help me live a dream. You want something in this life? You gotta go get it. It's gonna get hard, but you gotta keep going. You gotta keep going. The climb to the top is hard. Keep going. Finish strong. Finish strong. Finish strong. Don't ever let anybody outwork you. Don't ever let anybody outwork you. And don't let me catch you. Let's go. Push. Push.
Winning in the words of Charlie Sheen. This year I'm 23, working on my 6th ring. Had big brother pushing me since I was 16. Now, for all the right reasons, we do the wrong things. Trying to live life like we see it on the screen. But baby, this is real. It ain't about what you think, it's how you feel. And this time is moving fast, like order behind the wheel. Yeah, I'm on track. Thinking they holding me down, but